90-day tell-all, Sarper reveals Shekinah kicked him out less than 1 month after they got married. I feel like everything changed once we got married, Shekinah said ahead of the explosive season 11 tell-all. Sarper revealed at the 90-day Fiancé tell-all on June 22 that Shekinah kicked him out less than a month after their wedding and spent 10 days in a rental after they got into another fight. Shekinah shared a video with producers showing how Sarper took off his ring on Christmas Day and left his AirTag behind. I feel like he doesn't truly love me if he can so easily get up and leave, Shekinah told the group. Sarper is claiming that Shekinah kicked him out of their shared home less than a month after they got married in 90-day Fiancé's 90th wedding. In part 1 of the tell-all for season 11 of 90-day Fiancé, which aired Sunday, June 22, host Sean Robinson revealed that Shekinah had sent producers a video taken on Christmas Day after one of their fights. According to the video, Sarper had taken off his ring and left it on a table at the apartment. It's Christmas morning. Sarper's usually sitting here in the morning, but he's gone. And he left his ring, Shekinah said while showing the band on the table. She also revealed that Sarper had left behind an AirTag that she previously placed on his keys, adding, "Merry Christmas to us." When asked why he took off his ring, Sarper revealed he was kicked out of the house and spent 10 days at a rental. Shekinah then told the group, "This was less than a month after we got married." Sarper said the incident was triggered by small arguments that led him to explode. "I need to be more calm, but I cannot," he explained. "It's not my character. The arguments have apparently turned ugly." Shekinah claimed Sarper has continued to threaten to go back to Turkey and have with everyone else in the country. He People app. Download it now. 90-day tell-all, Sarper reveals Shekinah kicked him out less than 1 month after they got married. I feel like everything changed once we got married, Shekinah said ahead of the explosive season 11 tell-all. By Abigail Adams, published on June 21. Comments. Shekinah, left, and Sarper, right, at the 90-day Fiancé season 11 tell-all. Credit, TLC. Sarper revealed at the 90-day Fiancé tell-all on June 22 that Shekinah kicked him out less than a month after their wedding and spent 10 days in a rental after they got into another fight. Shekinah shared a video with producers showing how Sarper took off his ring on Christmas Day and left his AirTag behind. I feel like he doesn't truly love me if he can so easily get up and leave, Shekinah told the group. Sarper is claiming that Shekinah kicked him out of their shared home less than a month after they got married in 90-day Fiancé's 90th wedding. In part 1 of the tell-all for season 11 of 90-day Fiancé, which aired Sunday, June 22, host Sean Robinson revealed that Shekinah had sent producers a video taken on Christmas Day after one of their fights. According to the video, Sarper had taken off his ring and left it on a table at the apartment. It's Christmas morning. Sarper's usually sitting here in the morning, but he's gone. And he left his ring, Shekinah said while showing the band on the table. She also revealed that Sarper had left behind an AirTag that she previously placed on his keys, adding, "Merry Christmas to us." When asked why he took off his ring, Sarper revealed he was kicked out of the house and spent 10 days at a rental. Shekinah then told the group, "This was less than a month after we got married." Sarper said the incident was triggered by small arguments that led him to explode. "I need to be more calm, but I cannot," he explained. "It's not my character." Sarper, left, claimed Shekinah kicked him out less than a month after their wedding. TLC. The arguments have apparently turned ugly. Shekinah claimed Sarper has continued to threaten to go back to Turkey and have sex with everyone else in the country. Dan, Shekinah's friend, said a man who is 1000% in love with her would never do that, and she agreed. "I feel like he doesn't truly love me if he can so easily get up and leave," she explained to the group. Before the tell-all began, Shekinah claimed she and Sarper were not on a unified front. In a confessional, she said, "We're not good. I feel like everything changed once we got married and this is just my biggest fear coming to life." During the tell-all, Sarper described his marriage as a roller coaster filled with ups and downs. He later revealed that he and Shekinah did not sleep in the same hotel room the night prior. Earlier in the segment, Shekinah also said the dynamics in their relationship changed once Sarper arrived in the United States, noting that Sarper became depressed following the move, causing him to grow resentful. "I am always the control freak, so I have to control things, and when I don't control things I feel depressed," Sarper admitted. He then confessed, "I don't like the marriage." When asked to elaborate, Sarper said, "It brought a lot of new responsibilities and duties to my life. Being dependent is the biggest nightmare of mine, and we have egos," Sarper explained. "When we start to fight on something, it starts from a small thing. Like an avalanche, it gets bigger and bigger. And then, it explodes." Shekinah's friend Dan also suggested the relationship did not seem healthy. He claimed Shekinah had not spent time with his friend in the 4 months following the wedding and suggested Shekinah had lost a lot of weight. Sarper quickly began hurling insults at Dan, calling him a donkey, who sees himself as the unicorn, and comparing him to a spare tire. He also suggested Dan could be a danger to his relationship, especially considering he and Shekinah previously dated. After their segment, Shekinah and Sarper continued to argue backstage. In a confessional, Sarper suggested he and Shekinah were like enemies to each other. Separately, Shekinah said she felt she could not make Sarper happy. "He's not a supportive partner, period," she said in her confessional, "so I just started feeling really upset. I'm not okay. I'm having a moment. I feel alone." Sitting together in a dressing room, Shekinah said it felt like Sarper doesn't care about me as he glared at her. "You're mad at me for having emotions?" Shekinah sobbed. "You need so much therapy, it's insane." Sarper admitted Shekinah makes him crazy before issuing a warning to his wife, "You will lose me just because of you, and you will regret like a dog." "You called me a dog? What's wrong with you?" Shekinah tearfully replied. But Sarper continued to push her buttons, calling her naughty and spoiled. "It's so toxic, I'm sick of it," Shekinah cried before telling Sarper to leave me the F alone. After walking out of the dressing room, Sarper told producers she is impossible. Meanwhile, Shekinah told producers that Sarper is not capable of giving her what she needs. 90 Day Fiancé returns for season 11 with new and old faces, plenty of tears, and the first ever throuple. See the trailer. "I should be happy, I should be living my fairy tale," Aaliyah says in the dramatic teaser as Sarper compares Shekinah to a dictator. 90 Day Fiancé is back and bringing the drama. The fan-favorite TLC show is returning with 7 couples, including some familiar faces. In the season 11 trailer, fans will get to follow the journeys of Stevie and Maudie, Mark and Mina, Gregory and Joan, Shekinah and Sarper, Sean and Aaliyah, Jessica and Juan, and the first ever throuple, Matt, Amani and Eni. The preview kicks off with Mina declaring "I'm home now," after arriving in the US to be with 59-year-old pilot Mark from New Hampshire. "I guess you could say I got hit by the Cupid arrow right away," Mark says as the pair get into the hot tub together. The trailer later reveals the two have a 2-year-old daughter together, and Mina, who is originally from Paris, France, had to leave behind her 9-year-old son from a previous relationship until he received his passport. "Part of me wonders if she had the baby to try to lock down my dad," Mark's daughter from his first wife, Jordan, says in the preview before Mina tells her, "I think you're a snake. You don't coming to my wedding." According to an official synopsis, Mina begins to question whether she should stay in America or return to France as the two remain isolated in rural New Hampshire and without her son or a strong bond with Mark's family. Sarper and Shekinah, whose tumultuous relationship has been documented on 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, appear in the trailer next, with Sarper jogging on the beach with his shirt off. "I believe everything is possible in America," he says before he and Shekinah kiss on the sand. 90 Day. Sarper finally proposes to Shekinah after a year of ups and downs, but his true intentions remain a secret. Sarper is from Turkey, where fans last saw Shekinah move while Sarper waited for his visa. The pair went through ups and downs after Sarper struggled to leave behind his Playboy past, and this season will see him proving to Shekinah whether they can truly build a foundation in America. Sarper must prove he can adapt to his new environment without falling back into his old, reckless habits, reads a synopsis. Most importantly, he must win the approval of Shekinah's family, and especially from her daughter, Sophie. If they don't approve, Shekinah will send Sarper packing. Later in the trailer, things get rocky between Sarper and Shekinah again. "You're just like a dictator," he tells her, to which she replies, "If it's too hard, then leave." Then, Jessica is at the airport to pick up Juan, who came from Colombia to live with her and the baby son they share in Wyoming. Fans previously saw them on 90 Day Fiancé, Love in Paradise, where they tested their relationship after meeting on a cruise. He is used to traveling the world, Jessica tells cameras in the preview. His life is changing to a 180. According to the synopsis, the couple face many challenges, from Juan's loyalty to Jessica, to Jessica's doubts about Juan's ability to adapt to a major role shift, from a carefree cruise ship bartender to full-time dad. With tensions rising and a new family dynamic to navigate, the couple faces a pivotal moment in their love story. Juan later is shown seemingly making a confession of infidelity, saying "I'm human" when asked if he slept with another woman. Another returning couple is Aaliyah and Sean, who reunite in Los Angeles after Aaliyah traveled from her hometown of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. "It's a new life," Aaliyah says as she arrives in Beverly Hills. "It's like I'm just born today." Also featured on 90 Day Fiancé, Love in Paradise, the couple navigate several obstacles, like their 30-year age gap and the fact that Sean has kept their relationship a secret from his family and friends. The most difficult hurdle is Sean's internal struggle. He finds that Aaliyah, who is a trans woman, is evolving into a very different person than the one he first fell in love with as she continues to transition and explore surgical options, reads the synopsis. Now, Sean is faced with the most important question of all: can he say "I do" to someone whose identity is changing before his eyes? Toward the end of the trailer, a dramatic moment at their wedding hints that one of them may be leaving the other at the altar. As Aaliyah stands her in gown, Sean can be heard saying, "How could you do this? I should be happy, I should be living my fairy tale." Aaliyah later tells cameras, teary-eyed, "I just dream about all of this different." The throuple is introduced next, with Matt and Amani bringing exotic dancer Eni, from Tijuana, Mexico, into their married life in San Diego. Together, Matt and Amani are raising 2 daughters, but Amani, who is bisexual, wants to explore a polyamorous relationship. "I love being married to Matt, I love being a mom, but we have a third in our relationship," Amani says before cameras capture the throuple in bed together. The threesome has been dating for over a year, and now Matt, Amani, and Eni are looking to make their relationship permanent, per the synopsis. To do so, however, means Matt and Amani must divorce to move forward with the K-1 visa, allowing one of them to marry Eni and finally bring her to the US. First, they will travel to Mexico to spend more time with Eni's family and friends and confirm they are making the right decision in their relationship journey. When Mahdi arrives in the US from Iran, he lives in Mississippi with Stevie, who he met through online English classes. When she introduces him to her father after not telling her family about Mahdi, her dad asks, "Is he gonna make you wear a jihad?" The longer he experiences the Midwest, the more Mahdi grows uncomfortable with the political climate. From the outset of his 90-day journey, Mahdi is overwhelmed by homesickness, leaving Stevie worried about their future, the synopsis reads. Along the way, Mahdi uncovers unsettling truths about Stevie, causing him to question his decision. Meanwhile, the couple struggles to bridge deep cultural divides, and Mahdi faces the heart-wrenching dilemma of whether he can truly build a future in the US or if his heart is still tethered to his homeland. Everything appears to come crashing down as the trailer comes to a close, with Mahdi asking Stevie if she is bisexual as she cries next to him. "If I find out that Stevie is bisexual, I really don't think that we can get married," he tells cameras. Joan and Greg are the final couple this season, who fell in love during a vacation in Uganda. Greg, a native of Long Island, New York, is now bringing Joan to the US to start their life together, but things will quickly take a turn when she meets his overbearing mom. Joan, a highly educated NGO director, is deeply committed to her career and values stability and security, while Greg still lives with his overbearing mom and doesn't have a stable job, a synopsis reads. Once in America and living under Greg's mom's roof, Joan begins to feel the strain on their relationship and realizes she needs more from the man she loves. Joan gives Greg an ultimatum: get a steady job or she's headed home. Greg needs to step up and meet Joan's expectations or risk losing the future they've dreamed of. The synopsis adds, 90 Day, Sarper finally proposes to Shekinah after a year of ups and downs, but his true intentions remain a secret. The fate of the couple's relationship remains uncertain, as Shekinah remains unaware of Sarper's plan to use the engagement as a way to keep her in Turkey. Sarper and Shekinah are finally engaged, but the fate of their rocky relationship still remains uncertain. Shekinah agreed to take Sarper's hand in marriage during a romantic boat ride in Turkey during the November 11th episode of 90 Day Fiancé. The other way, however, the engagement was just the first step in Sarper's plan to try and keep Shekinah in Turkey, unbeknownst to her. Despite getting a K-1 visa approved by the United States that would allow him to move to the county, Sarper began his proposal by thanking Shekinah for helping him go from the most chaotic, toxic man on the planet to a man full of love. "I don't know how you did it, but you hacked my password, logged into me and changed all my default settings one by one," he said while they sipped on red wine together. Sarper then escorted Shekinah outside, where he sang a personally written song for his soon-to-be fiancé. He then got down on one knee and pulled out an engagement ring for Shekinah, but instead of popping the question, he declared, "I will marry you." "You're just telling me?" Shekinah laughed, as she and Sarper embraced, to which he responded, "I hate to ask questions with yes and no. But you accepted it." But the engagement festivities didn't end there. Later on, the pair met up with Sarper's family for an official Turkish engagement ceremony, during which Shekinah was tasked with making her fiancé a terrible-tasting coffee to see if he could drink it without reacting. Sarper's cousin Fuzan, who explained the tradition to Shekinah, said the goal is to test the husband and see how badly he wanted to marry her, but when it came time for the ceremony, Sarper had a difficult time keeping a straight face. "Is that a little face you're pulling?" Shekinah asked as members of his family chuckled over his reaction. "It was disgusting," Sarper admitted in a confessional. "I tried to not give any reaction. I don't know if I did it, but oof." The coffee ceremony was followed by a ring ceremony in which Sarper and Shekinah donned rings connected with a red ribbon that was then cut by the oldest member of the family to symbolize the beginning of the engagement. Afterward, Sarper informed his family that his K-1 visa was approved by the US, but claimed he wanted to remain in Turkey with Shekinah instead of moving. "My goal is for us to be able to live here," Sarper said in Turkish, a language Shekinah is still not fluent in. "I hope that all the love she's seen from you here and our culture have convinced her to stay." But when Shekinah asked for a translation, Sarper did not tell her about his grand plan. "My family, they don't want me to go and they love Shekinah," Sarper explained, "so I'm still hoping we can eventually convince Shekinah to stay here in Turkey." Meanwhile, Shekinah buffled hopeful for the future, and seemingly has no clue about Sarper's plan. "I just never thought that I would be standing here today engaged to that man in the picture and planning a future with him," she said in a confessional. "It's just so surreal and I can't wait to get to the US and start our lives together."